So that was the little intro, the little intro that I gave y'all. I want to know if y'all like it or not. I didn't make it myself, but I just want to know if it's good. But yeah, listen, y'all. Listen. If y'all gave y'all, I got this idea. I know many people do this, but I just got this idea. So I don't know if any other people do the videos that I do, like the type of other videos that I like to do. It's just videos that come up with in my head that I see other people do, but they don't combine it together. Like they don't fuse other people's videos together like I do. I'm not saying that that someone already made this and I'm copying it. I'm just saying that that from the videos that I seen, I'm just doing that. So just to let y'all know, y'all wanted this. This is what y'all wanted. And I'm giving y'all what y'all want because apparently y'all gave me more subscribers. More than I asked for, but it's alright. So, oh yeah, and if y'all hear me moving, just know that I'm on the bed, or if you hear wind, know that I'm next to my window because I really like the cold. And the reason why I don't turn on my air conditioner is because that thing's broken. That thing has been broken for like 3 years now. So yeah, let's get it started. Oh yeah, and if y'all like the intro, I will do it more if I can. So yeah. Um so y'all, this video is gonna be what if my son Naruto was in was a Uchiha. Let's get it. So Naruto was born and his brother is Sasuke Uchiha. His older brother His older brother is Itachi Uchiha. And now I know what you're gonna be asking. What about Minato and Kushina? I can't say her name right, so if I'm saying her name wrong, tell me in the comments down below. I'm sorry. So they still gonna be alive, I think. Wait, am I gonna have them be alive? Yes, I am. So they still gonna be alive. Hold on, I forgot to get one more thing. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So just to let y'all know, there's one thing that makes Naruto different, and I'm gonna show y'all this right now. Naruto has this. I forgot what it was called, damn it. Hold on, let me look it up, please. Okay, yeah, I remember what it was called now. It was called Sharingan, I think. I mean, Sharingan, like, just put the Rin at the end, like Rin and Naruto, that Rin. The Sharingan, that's it. So this is what Naruto has when he was born. People see this and they see that it's a combination of the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. And people are like, what the? But Donzo, he wants to see what this Sharingan can do. So their first idea was to put Naruto in the CRA, kind of, but Fugaku wasn't about that. He's like, we're not having this, so he's my son. I decide what I want. So yeah. Naruto is now basically Naruto is 8. He's no Naruto is 5 and Sasuke is 6. I can't remember. I don't know what Itachi is. I forgot. I don't remember what I was gonna do it. So yeah. So oh yeah, and if you're asking why I made them apart, it's because like Naruto is kind of like he's a year like I think Naruto and Sasuke, like I think Naruto is older than Sasuke. I think Naruto is older than Sasuke in canon. I can't remember. I don't know, but but yeah, but yes, Sasuke is older than Naruto in this one. So yeah. So as sorry about that. So Naruto is with his mom is basically training with Sasuke, and ever, and like ever since people saw this when Naruto was born, it never happened again, really. And this is when, well, they get a call from Thing. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering about, like I said, if you're wondering about Minato and Kushina, they're gonna die. Yeah, they're gonna die. But this time, the Nine Tails doesn't get sealed in. The Nine Tails doesn't get sealed in. It doesn't get sealed um, in their kid. It gets sealed in Naruto because because I would say I would say that wait, but it won't actually nah, the Nine Tails doesn't get sealed in not in Naruto. It gets sealed in their daughter Namito. I mean Namuko. I mean Nahuko. It gets sealed in their daughter Nahuko. And Naruto is also older than Naruto. He's basically when Naruto, Sasuke, so when like Sasuke, Naruto, and basically Ino and all them are and show and like well, what's his name again? Choji and I forgot his name. Who always says what a drag? Tell me in the comments down below, because I forgot. Oh yeah, Shigamaru. That's his name. I just remembered. Shikamaru and Shigamaru. Naruto is always asking, can I play with you guys? And they're always telling Naruto, no, you're too young. You might get hurt and all that stuff. Since, like Naruto is Itachi's little brother. Naruto is a prodigy. Like, Naruto is really smart. Like, OD smart. So, Naruto. So, since Naruto is so smart, he's known as a prodigy, but people don't know this yet since he's still kind of young. He's still a child. And, oh yeah, since Naruto is like still a child, people don't really want anything happening to Naruto. Like, Naruto's parents, they're, for Naruto, they're kind of strict because of what they saw. And, like, with Naruto, they're strict with Naruto, but when it's up to Sasuke or Itachi, like, they give Naruto less attention, kind of, you can say. So Naruto kind of feels kind of left out by his older brothers and well his family and friends, because they're always doing older people stuff, and even though he's the youngest, like for him he's always saying it doesn't matter if I'm the youngest, I can still play. That's what Naruto's basically always saying. So this is when like Naruto sees, hold on, I think this is Ichigo's sword from Bleach. I don't really know, but yeah, this is the sword that Naruto sees. They keep this sword and basically kind of in their living room where everyone can see it. And Naruto has always wanted this sword. No, they don't. No, they don't keep it in their living room. They keep it in where they keep it in. For Naruto, they keep it in, well, like a sealing place, because this sword they believe is cursed. So yeah, they keep it away from Naruto since ever since Naruto was born, this cursed sword has been acting up. It's drawn to Naruto. And Fugaku has seen Naruto crawling to the sword, trying to touch it once when he was a 1-year-old, when he was a baby. And he always pulled Naruto away from the sword. So yeah. Like I said, you guys, sorry if I'm pausing a lot. I'm just really like busy, kind of like showing you guys the pictures and all that stuff, making this entertaining. So Naruto is now. So Naruto was going to take the sword, but he knows that if he takes the sword, his parents are gonna be mad with him. So he says no. So he grabs a a kunai, and like, kind of like a sword, like kind of like a normal regular sword, but it can still chop through regular things. It's just not the sword that I showed you guys. So Naruto is now with his. So this is when. Sorry about that, guys. So Naruto is now with. So Naruto, so Fugaku and his wife tell Naruto to go to bed. It's time for him to go to sleep. This is when, and they also tell Sasuke to go to bed as well. This is when Naruto, like Sasuke he already fell asleep. He was already tired. So Sasuke is asleep. Naruto is still awake, and the door was a little bit cracked open, so Naruto could hear every word they're saying. And this is when he hears his father say to Itachi that they're not planning a coup or anything, but they're planning on marrying Naruto off to somebody. They're basically like, oh, the sword is getting stronger and stronger every day, and I'm afraid Naruto is going to eventually want to take the sword, and if he does, we won't know what's going to happen. So they're saying we have to marry Naruto into a family. We don't want it to be you since you're too old, and since Sasuke still wants to be a ninja. Now, Naruto doesn't really have Naruto is kind of good at. Naruto isn't that good at ninjutsu. Like, for Naruto, his life ain't that good with ninja stuff. So, like, when it's up to for him training and all that, he's not as strong as his brothers, but he can still use the Sharingan. He's just not that strong with it. So Naruto is now hearing his parents saying they're going to marry him off to somebody, to somebody that he doesn't know. And Naruto, hearing this, opens the door, and he rushes downstairs saying, "But I don't want to get married to somebody." Naruto says, "I don't want to get married to anybody. That's disgusting and nasty." Itachi just puts his hand to his mouth and giggles a little bit, like. And Fugaku doesn't know what to say, cause Naruto is kind of weak. Like if he, like, there's not really much of a way to train him to get stronger, nor is, because for Naruto they have to be gentle with him for some reason. They don't know why, but because, like, for Naruto, normally people with this sort of stuff would pay attention to Naruto more than their siblings, but the Uchihas, but Fugaku was paying more attention to Sasuke and Itachi, so that way he can protect Naruto. Like, he does want to protect Sasuke as well, but Naruto right now is more important, because day by day the cursed sword is getting stronger, and they can feel that Naruto's temptation to go to the sword is also getting stronger. Like, so, so they're like, we have, so they're like, maybe if we marry him off to someone and, you know, and he, maybe that will get the sword. Maybe that will weaken his temptation to get the sword. That's what they're basically saying. And like Naruto's like, I don't want to be married to anybody. And so what if I touch the sword? Nothing's gonna happen. It's just a normal sword. And he's like, and I'll show you. So Naruto runs off to the temple, going to touch the sword, but Itachi quickly body flickers to the front door, saying, Naruto, it's late. You gotta go to bed. You can't touch the sword. And he's like, why? It's just a normal sword. He says, this is when, like, since Naruto's, like, 5 and, like, doesn't really understand, he's like, because the sword is cursed, and if you touch it, then you'll be cursed as well. And you'll be cursed as well, and you'll always have bad luck. He's just trying to scare Naruto right now. And Naruto is getting scared, but he's also trying to prove that, and he's stuttering. Naruto is stuttering, saying, I can still fight. I'm not scared to touch the sword. And then no, then Itachi says, yeah, right, just go to bed. Naruto then says, So this is when Naruto finally goes to sleep, and they kind of like erase Naruto's memory of last night. Like Naruto doesn't remember, like, seeing how he's 5. No, they don't erase Naruto's memory. Seeing how Naruto is 5, and like every time little kids go to sleep, sometimes they forget most of yesterday, cause little kids, for real. Seeing how that happens. Naruto forgot all about the marriage because, it was the next day and a week just passed, So Naruto isn't really going to remember it because, he's 5. His body is still growing to process stuff. This is when Danzo calls Itachi, well, the elders call Itachi, and they say, oh, and all this. They say, oh, your clan is planning a coup and all that. And then this is when not Naruto, Itachi says, well, maybe we can stop this coup. My father is planning to marry Naruto off to somebody. Maybe maybe Naruto can marry one of your daughters or something. And they're like, no, that's not happening. Just kill the clan. And so Itachi, kills the clan. But so this is when Sasuke was playing with his friends. This is when he then holds Naruto's hand, saying, "Come on, Naruto, we gotta go back home. It's getting late." And they go back. They see everybody's dead, and and so they quickly run to their house. They see that their parents are dead. They say, "Hey, mom, dad, wake up." You know what they usually say, and what Sasuke says in canon, but Naruto is just shocked. Like, so this is when, you know, Itachi then says, Sasuke. This is when Itachi says, I mean, not, oh my god, my head is confusing me right now, guys, I'm sorry. Sasuke says, Itachi, why? Because he can see, the blade that Itachi has, and it's all bloody. It just has a lot of blood on it. So asking, he's asking Sasuke, so he's asking Itachi, why did you kill the whole clan? Why? Seeing, seeing the pain and seeing like the pain in Sasuke's eyes, this is when, Naruto's like, Naruto then awakens his Sharingan. Just the one Tomoe Sharingan and that's it. Just that one. This is when he awakens the one Tomoe. And now, Naruto, Naruto is kind of, like, he's fainting. Like, he's about to faint, that's it. Like, he's awake, but he can feel himself fading. About to, like, faint and fall down because of the shock. And he can't really, because like his body's kind of weak and he's still like a child. This is when he then takes Naruto and kicks Sasuke out of the way. This is when Sasuke gets up and looks for Itachi, because he just kidnapped his younger brother. And this is when Sasuke says his speech, and he says, "You have to hate me, Sasuke, if you wanna get Naruto back." He says, "What do you mean? Why? Why kill the whole clan?" This is when he says, "I'm taking Naruto, and in these few years, I will be training him. If he does not get stronger within these few years, he will die." And now Sasuke is just staring at the ground with a shocked face on his look, saying, and also looking at Itachi, saying, "No, you won't kill Naruto. I won't let you." This is when he uses the Mangekyo and just ends up, knocking out Sasuke, you can say. I guess. Because that's it. He knocks Sasuke out and takes Naruto with him. But when he took him with him, this is when like that kind of broke the connection between when he knocked out Naruto, he kind of broke half of the connection. Like the connection to Naruto and the sword kind of broke. So now the cursed sword flew all the way to Naruto as Itachi was leaving the village. Itachi could sense that something was coming, something fast. He thought that this was a shuriken, but it's not. It's the sword. It literally, while Itachi is holding Naruto, the cursed sword lands, like he puts Naruto down on the floor because he sees that because he thinks a shuriken is coming. A shuriken is coming his way, but it's not. The sword comes and it lands on Naruto, touching him, which Fugaku and Itachi was trying to avoid this, but it's kind of too late, so yeah. So, this is when Naruto sees that, not Naruto, Itachi sees that his brother now has the cursed sword, and he can't remove it. Like, no matter how many times he tries to pick up the sword, it's too heavy for him to lift it up, or no matter, or even if he can lift it up and throws it away, it keeps going back to Naruto no matter what. That's it. So he said like, fine, since there's no way to get rid of it, I'll just take it with me. So he picks up the sword easily this time, and well, puts it on his back. Well, he has the sword on his side, and Naruto is on his back, and he's just going away. In the middle of this is when like Like 15 minutes later, the sun is now rising, and Sasuke has woken up. Sasuke is awake, and Sasuke is awake, and he is now shocked because his whole clan is basically dead. And this is when he goes up to the third Hokage and says, "My whole clan is dead," and all that, and it was Itachi who did it. This is when he says that Itachi took Naruto. Now the third is like, okay, I'm sorry that all this happened. I'm sorry for Naruto. And he says, "That's it? That's all you have to say? Not gonna send any envoy to go after Sasuke?" He then tells Sasuke that this is an A ranked mission. An A ranked mission, and well, you know, that's there's not much ninjas out at this time. This is when, you know, not you know, Naruto is now with waking up, and he sees an old man. He sees an old man, a guy in a mask, and Itachi. Itachi, who is standing above him, saying, "Naruto, do you know why you're here?" Itachi says. Naruto's like, No, please, bring me back," Naruto says. And Itachi's like, "I can't bring you back. You are a rogue ninja now, Naruto." He's like, No, I don't want to be a rogue ninja. I can't be. I can't." This is when he then tells Sasuke, "You are a rogue ninja, Naruto." And hearing this, Naruto now sees that he now awakens the second Tomoe Sharingan. Uh, now Naruto now awakens the second Tomoe Sharingan. And this is when Itachi says, "Naruto, do you accept how your fate is now?" Naruto's still surprised, faints again, because he's only 5. Now, and then Itachi just sighs and says, This is when Naruto is now with Itachi, waking up after 5 minutes of being knocked out. And this is when Itachi says, "Do you accept how things are now, Naruto?" Naruto sighs and says, "Yes, I accept," with tears in his eyes. No, and Itachi knowing he doesn't want to accept this. This is when he then asks, "Who are these people?" This is when now Itachi says, "This is Toby, your uncle. He's my friend, but you can call him your uncle, Naruto." And he says, "Oh, okay." And the old man, "This is your grandpa, Naruto, Madara Uchiha. And he and I will be training you from now on." They train, and as they're training, this is when Madara tells Naruto that he only has a few years to live, and that he gave his Rinnegan to an orphan Uzumaki child. And he's like, "Okay." And while Naruto has now a habit that's going to last him a while. He now has a habit of sleepwalking. But this isn't any sleepwalking. It's sleepwalking with his eyes open. So the first night this happened, they were all in, Like Naruto, they told Naruto to go to sleep early. He has a big day ahead of him of training, and he's like, okay. So Naruto goes to sleep early, and they see that Naruto's up. This is when Itachi then says, Naruto, didn't I tell you to go to bed? This is when he sees that Naruto's kind of sleepwalking. Naruto then opens his eyes to reveal this. And all of them, they were like eating. Like, they were eating their food and all that. This is when they then dropped their plates. Like, I mean, not drop their plates. They dropped their spoon. This is when they drop their spoon, and when they see this, Naruto starts to attack them. But he doesn't attack them without a reason. He doesn't have a reason. Naruto isn't awake. But this is when Itachi knows that Naruto is being controlled. Naruto is being controlled by somebody. This is when Itachi knows that he's being controlled by the cursed sword that he has. Itachi notices this, and he tries to take the cursed sword away from Naruto. The cursed sword away from Naruto. And he succeeds, and Naruto then well, you know, Naruto then passes out because, the cursed sword no longer has control over him. He is not with his host. So now that Naruto is asleep, finally, this is when Madara and Toby / Obito then ask, what was that? He says, I don't know. For me it's a mystery, but for Naruto, I don't know. For him, he just has it. He had it ever since birth. When he first opened his eyes as a baby, that's the first things we saw. Madara is intrigued by this because this is the first time he's ever seen something that resembles the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. I don't really know the abilities of this thing, but I'll say, like, whoever has this, you are a legend. You basically are a god. You basically are a god when you hold this thing. If you have this. Like, you have all the 9 tails power. Even if the 10 tails is fused together, and even if all the 9 tails are fused together and make the 10 tails, if you have this, you can take control of the 10 tails for yourself, and you will be the most powerful person in the world. This is when the second night it happens. So the second night, which is the day after that, it happens. This is when Naruto, instead of attacking them, says, you have taken my sword from me once again. Well, he says, you have taken the sword from me again. This is when Itachi asks, who's asking, the sword or my little brother? He says, obviously the sword, you big dumb. He then obviously says, the sword, you fool. I'm talking. I have a power. Now that I have a host and a body, this boy belongs to me. And I have reached powers beyond a god. And no one can rival me. That's what he's basically saying. And he said, this is when Itachi then says, if I take that sword from you, you won't have a host. He says, it won't matter. No matter what you do, he will always find his way to me. He will always be connected to me, and I will always be connected to him. Now, this is when Itachi then says, okay. but what if I somehow destroy you? You destroy me, you kill your brother, Itachi, Uchiha. He then says, you're bluffing. He says, try me. Go ahead. Break me. Try. Itachi is kind of doesn't really want to take Naruto's sword away from him and break it, because if he's saying the truth and if he really does take the sword and breaks it and Naruto dies, he broke his promise to protect Naruto. That he said, well, the promise that he made to his mom and dad was to protect Naruto, was to protect your brothers, especially Naruto. He can't really protect Naruto if he's not in his sight. And it's not like Sasuke's doing any better, because that's his little brother, and Sasuke and Naruto will follow Sasuke around anywhere, even if he goes on a mission, and that will just hold Sasuke back if Naruto's there. So he says, fine then, let's make a deal, Itachi says. This is when the sword then says, you have my interest. What sort of deal? He says, I'll let you stay with my little brother if this doesn't happen again. He says, I can't promise that. I can't promise when the link between us connects and doesn't connect. That's something that happens on its own. So I will awake when every time the connection happens, I will awaken. I will take full control of his body, and nothing can stop me. Itachi Uchiha. Naruto then says, not Naruto, the sword. I'm just gonna say S Naruto, because sword Naruto, S Naruto then says, but I will give him my power. And the power that I will give him is that he will be able to tap into this Sharingan whenever he wants to. And there's another Sharingan that I will be giving him, but he will need to unlock it. The way he will need to unlock it is, I will tell you, is this way. That's when Naruto then goes. This is when the sword then brings Naruto back to his room and brings him to sleep, because he can feel that the connection between him and Naruto was fading. So yeah. Now Naruto is sleeping, and Itachi is like, what am I going to do, Madara? He then says, I don't know, but whatever that Sharingan is, it's powerful, more powerful than my Rinnegan and a normal Sharingan. It will take the whole world to defeat him. This is when Itachi then says, I know. And this is when Naruto then says, like a few years has passed by, but before those few years, it's been like 2 months since. It's been 2 months every day. The sword would take over, but after those 2 months, it never happened again. And they were and they eventually got, like when Naruto would wake up, he would feel really tired, because, the sword will be taking his energy away. Oh yeah, but the sword does not take any of his lifespan. They are connected. But But if like no, if Naruto is in control, and if the sword breaks, Naruto won't die. But if Naruto is in control and like normal Naruto, not S Naruto, if Naruto is in control and if Naruto dies, the sword will also die. But it will also be a regular sword that anybody can just fix. But the sword will no longer be cursed. That's it. So yeah, have fun with that. Naruto is with his So a few years have passed. Naruto is now 8, and now, and Madara is training him, and Naruto has unlocked. Naruto has, like, in those 5 years. I mean, now that Naruto is 8, like 3 years late, like 3 years ago, Naruto has unlocked. Naruto unlocked. Naruto unlocked the 3-Tomoe Sharingan. They did this by having Naruto have basically a close friend. Like, it was a person. This person was a really close friend of Naruto. They have him be Naruto's friend. This, like, Madara, Toby, and Itachi knew about this. Knew that Naruto kept sneaking out to hang out with this certain friend of his. So this is when, like, they actually been knew this. They've been found out about this. So this is when they get that person, and this is when Toby then tells Naruto to come here. He then says, Naruto then says happily, okay. Naruto then says, okay, I'm coming. This is when he sees his friend. That Madara is holding her, I mean not her, him, by his hair, and he's saying, let me go. Let me go, I don't want to be here. Leave me alone. Naruto's like, no, let him go, please. This is when Itachi then says, Naruto, don't you want to get stronger? This is how you get stronger. And this is how you get stronger, Naruto. This is when, before his friend dies, he then says, please, Naruto, promise me that you will always be my friend. That's what he basically says before he dies. And Naruto then, as Itachi is now holding the blade towards Naruto's friend's neck, Naruto is now being held back by Toby, saying, let me go, I don't want him to die. And then Itachi then says, Naruto, if you want your friend to live, stop me. And Naruto is trying to stop him by using his 2-Tomoe Sharingan on him, but that's not working. So this is when Itachi cuts Naruto's friend's neck. He cuts it straight off, like clean off, that's it. And Naruto's just standing there, like he's breathing in and out like this. And he's also crying because his friend just died in front of him, and he saw that. He felt like him and his friend really got along because his friend, he was an orphan. He lost his parents as soon as they were born. And I'll say this friend of him was from the Sand Village. They were from the Sand Village, so yeah. And he was an orphan, so the Sand Village didn't really care because, Naruto because he's an orphan. That kid's an orphan. He doesn't have any parents. They don't really care. So Naruto is now with his Naruto then gets on his knees asking Itachi, why did you kill him? He did nothing wrong. He was only my friend. Alright, and this is when Itachi says, he then walks past Naruto saying, having friendship is weakness, Naruto. Having friends will make you weak. Naruto then unlocks his 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and now end of flashback, basically. That's basically end of that. Naruto, he kind of hates Madara and Itachi and Tobi because like they kind of killed his friend, but that was like years ago, so yeah. But he doesn't, like, he hates them, but he doesn't want to kill them. He still feels this family bond towards them. This is when like Madara then says, I taught you all I know, Naruto. So did Itachi. And so did Tobi. Because I'll say Tobi taught Naruto how to do the disappearing thing. I don't know. But he's gonna unlock the Mangekyo. I'm gonna tell you how. Because this is also another time skip, because now Naruto is 8 now. He's 13. He had another friend, but this time he didn't always visit him. This time his friend didn't always visit him. I mean, he didn't always visit his friend. Actually, to this one, he barely felt emotion towards this person. He didn't care about this person, but he still kind of felt a friendship towards them. But Naruto knows that every time he has a friend, they will find out and they will just kill this person. This person, it was a he, like the last time, and this one actually had a family. This one had an older sister and a younger brother. This person, he had like a younger sister and an older sister, kind of like how Itachi is the oldest and Sasuke is the middle child. Naruto is the youngest. So he kind of felt like Naruto was his little brother, the little brother that he always wanted. And Naruto will always treat this guy as if he's older than him. I mean, Naruto would treat him as if he's younger than him, and Naruto was older than him. So Naruto would treat him younger, even though he's the younger one, and this is when they found out they took his family, literally took him. They took this man's family, and they tied Naruto. This is when Naruto was asleep in his bed. Like every time Naruto got a break, he would just sit there in the tree that he would always go to, and the tree that his friend stumbled upon on, because like he ran away from the village because people was bullying him, and he didn't really care. Naruto didn't really care at first, but the bullies chased him into the forest, and since this was kind of Madara's territory, he didn't really want anyone coming into the forest, into like this part of the forest, a certain part of the forest. So he was like, yeah, y'all gotta go, y'all can't stay here. Naruto basically scared them off. Basically, they then took this man's family and they tied Naruto up. This is when, I feel this one. I'm gonna feel this one. This is when like they like, since Naruto was kind of like 8. This is kind of also like a kind of flashback, and you can say it's like the present time, but also a little bit of a flashback. You can say Naruto is now Naruto with is tied up to a stick and he can't get out. He the he's tied and chained this time. He's chained up and he can't get out. He knows that this is kind of worse. He knows that if this was Obito, he could have easily broken. He could have easily broken out of this. He's been trained by this. This is when Naruto then Naruto sees his friend, and Itachi knows that his friend had an older sister, and since Itachi kind of had a girlfriend, he kind of wanted to replace the person that that he killed, kind of, and now Naruto is with them. Naruto is with them, and Naruto is with them, and he sees that Naruto is with his friend, also chained up, and his friend's older sister, who is his friend's older sister and younger sister, which is Itachi, and his friend's older sister is Itachi's girlfriend, because he had a girlfriend once, and he basically trying to replace his broken heart. He's like trying to kind of fill the void in that. This is when they're like, his friends are like trying to get out. This is when they see their parents, and this is when Naruto then says, Itachi, no, please, not again, please. I'm begging you this time. I'm literally on my knees, Itachi, please. That's what Naruto's saying. And Itachi, ignoring what Naruto was saying, kills their parents. He then goes up to the little boy and kills him too. And this is when Naruto's girlfriend not Naruto. Itachi's girlfriend is shocked about him and swearing one day that she will kill Itachi. Itachi is then goes up to her, and they have been dating for a while, but they never really kissed or anything. But yeah. This is when Itachi kisses her on the lips. A little bit of spicy stuff there, but he kisses her on the lips and lets her go. He then lets them go because, he just wanted, because that's kind of his girlfriend, and just in case he needs her to, rebuild the Uchiha clan again, he's going to keep her. And he's also going, he also kept her little sister alive too, because, just in case Naruto may fall in love with. Ow! That's a little toy and it hurts. Damn. So just in case Naruto would like to want this little girl to become his girlfriend one day, But this little girl is kind of younger than Naruto, and so is Itachi's girlfriend. Itachi, she's kind of she's a week younger than Itachi. For Naruto, this little girl is a month younger. Well, this little girl is half a year younger than Naruto. So yeah, when Naruto, no, a month. It's a month. So when Naruto is basically with, when Naruto is with her, he's basically with the little girl, comforting her, because she just saw her older brother and her parents die. And for Itachi, he's he just has his girlfriend in his room. She's not chained up or anything, but she did lock the door. Itachi Itachi can't really get in. He knows that he can get in because he could just break the door down, but he feels like she needs some space. So this is when now Naruto was 13. He's 13. Like, that's kind of like the end of that kind of a flashback, and Naruto was like 13, and she is, and well, Naruto is 13. He has just unlocked the Mangeki. Like, he unlocked the Mangeki of Sharingan, and they've been training Naruto with them, with that, and they also been training the little girl and well, the no, the, Itachi's girlfriend basically. Madara, he died, and so and Madara gave his eyes to to I'll say like not Minato. Sasuke found, well, he knows that Sasuke Sasuke had, like, he found like a few jars of eyes of Uchihas that have died, and he gave one of them to Naruto because he just unlocked the Mangekyo. So yeah. And Obito trained Naruto the disappearing trick or something, I don't know. He just told him that. And now Naruto, now, oh yeah, I need to give these girls names. Name them in the comments down below, y'all. Name them in the comments down below. So, yeah. So, if y'all can't name them, I'm just gonna name them myself. So yeah. Naruto has joined the Akatsuki, and so have like Itachi's girlfriend and her little sister. And this is where I'm gonna leave the video off. I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. And goodbye, y'all.